Hi, I'm Rob Steinke and I run the Harness Makers Workshop. Today I've got for you an exhibition that I first did for European Heritage Week when I had a small museum, the Museum of the Master Saddler, and this one is Saddlery Around the World. There's a collection here. For 3 years I lived in Brittany and I love the Breton horse. They're very powerful, huge, not so much high but body-wise, brilliant horses for this sort of work. And you can see how they actually paint the collars, the blue and the heavy chains. I'll do a separate video on the Breton at some other time. Then we have the Isle of Man, and very late they still had the horse-drawn trams, so that was 100 years of it, from 1876 to 1976, and Post Office issued a first day cover for the stamps to celebrate it. Then we go on to France. Now look at that for some fancy saddlery, and that's carried on to the bridle, and that's one of the kings of France, and beautiful horse. But you can see the most ornate saddlery and horse clothing imaginable. Then we go on to Germany. Fierce looking horse, that one. But you see with all the fancy bridles, and you've got ornamentation on the rest of the bridle and on the face strap. And then we go on to the USA, the cowboys. Everything for a day's work carried on the saddle. Not just his rifle, but his rope for the cattle, and just everything is carried on that saddle. Completely different style to the European saddlery there. Canada, in the snow, Montreal. That's, you see the bells coming down from the breast, going between the legs. So they're special bells, and they give a lovely tune as you trotting along, and they're ringing away with the sledge. And that's a great shot in the snow there. Again, totally different harness. How's that for a pageantry? That is Spain, and you can see all the fancy ornate bridles, all the flowers and that, and even the groom there, she's in her yellow. And it's a wonderful turnout, mainly for parades, but that's still part of the Spanish culture. Portugal. There, that's pretty old. It was taken from an old postcard. You can see just very simple bridle work, but the saddle's slightly different. The stirrups definitely different, much bigger than the European type of a stirrup. Everyone developed their own style. There's Denmark. How about that for some team of workhorses? The Carlsberg. And there they are, pulling the wagon. A modern picture, obviously. But yeah, it's what they're used for still. Delivering and for parades and shows. And there's something, again, totally different. The Bengal Lancers of India. The military, you've got the ropes coming down below the bridles, and they're in full charge there. You can see they've got the flags up. And there's little catches on the stirrups where the end of the flag goes in. You can just see them there. So they're not wobbling all over the place. They actually fit into a little hole there. Little holder. Now Wales, spent a long time in Wales. That's the pit ponies. This will be a recurring theme of mine with pit ponies and that. But there's one, fairly modern times, going up the lift to do the shift. And totally different saddlery. I'll show you that sometime because I have got an original miner's bridle. And there, the horse of the desert, the camel. Once I've ridden on a camel, loved my camel, he was great. Could neck rein him. So, but there they are, prayers, and the camels just drop down. But look at that for a saddle, that really is ornate. And I've got a camel muzzle somewhere, I must find that. And I do a camel shoot. Not shooting the camels, shooting the pictures. Yeah, Scotland. There, with the ladies and collecting turf, or looks like turf in there, with the ponies, and to keep the fires alight. And there's another military one, New Zealand Mounted Rifles. I think a bit of artistic talent there, but yeah, it gives you the idea, and great uniform. And there he is jumping with his pistol in the other hand. And military, I'll do a separate one as well sometime. There, the Black Prince, 1330 to 1376. How about that for some horse clothing? Brilliant. And it's carried on to his body and to his shield. So that was medieval times, and totally different saddlery again. China, 4 abreast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Models, yes, but it gives you an idea of the sort of horse setups they had, and you can see the tassels underneath the heads and around the back, around the throat. That's yeah, an interesting picture, I thought, of different times. Here's one of the few photographs of this collection that I took myself. We were on holiday in Morocco, and this chap was coming along, and yeah, it was a mule, was doing fine, and a load of padding there, but he was doing his day's work, and you can see the plastic sort of grocer's trays on the back. But yeah, he was going along quite happily. So it's still, that's really modern day. Burma, again, a bit of artistic license. You can see the sort of saddles, they've got the shape of them, and it's and the bridles. I can't actually see proper reins on that, whether there's a rein there, but it just gives you the flavour of what different countries have got for their horses. Ethiopia, that is a bit of a weird picture. I take it she's riding side saddle, different side to what you normally ride in European, but again, lovely ornamentation around the neck and over the headpiece, and odd shaped, different shaped stirrupines. Tibet, that is fabulous. Horse clothing there going round. I know the picture's a bit damaged there. Look at the head piece, it's sort of I don't know whether it's protective or just ornamental. You got the tassels on the reins. Beautiful set of horse clothing there. Italy, there again, some beautiful metal work on the bridles and the breast collars, and that's, and there he's got his bow for the bow and arrow. So again, totally different. All these different countries, they develop their own. Now this is actually from the Life of the Working Pony exhibition, which we'll have another time up here. And you've got these sledges there, and look, that picture, the top was taken in Ireland, and you've also got them, I think that's Middle Europe, and then you've got the American Indians, and they used to carry their babies, young kids, on their sledges, and it all developed differently. That's a great one. Again, in Ireland, County Antrim, and you can see all the beautifully made harness with plaited straw. Credit to the person that did that, brilliant. And then you've got the skids on the, they call it a slide car. You get different names for different countries, or even within a country it can vary. But that's a great picture, the little cottage at the back. And showing where that had the basket on the sledge on the shafts, there is one that is mounted straight onto the pony. Lovely head on that pony. So yeah, that's all the different styles over the different countries. I'm going to lift this up now so you can see who's doing the talking. Yep, that's me. Okay, right, take my glasses off. So thank you for being with me, and there'll be other ones coming up. They were all shot for the museum, so it gives you a different flavour of what goes on in different countries. Okay, so thank you for being with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, cheerio.